Hello and welcome to SME TV. I'm your host Angela Vithulkis, bringing you the latest in news and views for the SME community. Today's our favourite segment, Spotlight on a Business Hero. When we choose a business hero, we have to have a reason. Well, today I have dozens of reasons, but it started with a private LinkedIn message that came via magazine editorials and New York Fashion Week. To join our SME TV community, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need your support, not just for us, but for all SMEs. And we encourage you to comment and share SME TV. Joining us today is our next generation of savvy entrepreneur, a young woman not afraid to shape and shade her own career in the noisy and intense world of the makeup and beauty industry. Her name, Jessica Maas. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
Good. Well, obviously I look good because we got you to come in a bit earlier to not just tell your story, but to also glam me up, yes. I believe.
Yes.
So I have been glammed up for today. The difference is that when I asked Jessica to come in and tell her story, I also wanted her to show us her story. So this is not the work that I normally do. This is the work courtesy of Jessica. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. When we bring in our business heroes to talk about their journey, they're normally a little bit older than you.
Okay.
And they've normally had lots of troughs and peaks.
Yeah.
But when I asked you to tell me your story, I'm going to quote what you said.
Okay.
So normally I would ask you, tell me about the beginning or how you feel.
Yeah.
So this is a direct quote.
Okay.
In the beginning of my journey, I felt very scared to start a business by myself. I really didn't believe in myself because I kept thinking, how can I make something from nothing? I didn't have any confidence. I had so much self-doubt, but despite all that, something inside me told me it's either I give it all I've got or I stop complaining about my job and stick to 9 to 5. So that was the crossroad, right?
Basically.
So tell us a little bit about how you started. It was in the early years, it was modelling.
Yeah.
And then that progressed to the beauty industry itself. But tell us a bit about that.
So I never really knew what I wanted to do, but I knew it had to do something to art or like something creative. So I actually started doing graphic design and I got my diploma. And then when I started to like search for jobs, I realized like this is not what I want. And then a friend's like to me, you should do modeling. I'm like, okay, like, I'll give it a go. And I realized like I don't classify myself as a model, and I think modeling is much harder than people think it is. So I knew that like was not for me, even though I did try for about 2-3 years. And
so you stuck it out for a reasonably long time.
I did. I really did. In my head, I'm like, this is what I want. But I felt like every time I'd go on set and like actual model, I just felt like I'd leave feeling a bit empty. And I'm like, this isn't how I should feel. I shouldn't feel like I don't want to go to a shoot. I should feel excited. So then I kind of reevaluated my life. And it was funny because I remember me, my sister and a friend, we were all sitting at Bankstown and we're having coffee. I didn't drink coffee, but I was having tea. And she's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, if it was up to me, I'd be like the biggest makeup artist and I'd inspire people and help and everything like that. And she's like, what's stopping you? And I'm like, well, like, look at me. I'm young, I'm Middle Eastern. I come from the West, like I have nothing. Oh, sorry, I get so emotional.
Do you feel that your culture was something that was stopping you from doing whatever you wanted?
Definitely.
Why?
Definitely. Well, I think in our the way I was brought up as well, especially, my dad was paralyzed and like my parents had got divorced, and my mum was always like the working home mum. So really, I didn't even think I could actually have a job, especially when I got married. So I was kind of always like, I'll do whatever until I get married, because in our job, like in our culture, you're never really pushed to do what you want. You're more kind of like, okay, you need to be a good girl, you need to be respected, you need to be like this, and that's it. Like no one ever really said to me, you can do whatever you want. Like I literally remember when I first told my mum what I wanted to do, she laughed, and I was like, okay, this isn't gonna go well. Like at least I gave it a go. And my sister was always like, Jess, you can do it. Like you can do it. And I think I have so much faith. So I remember I prayed that night and I was like, God, if this is what I'm meant to do, I need a sign because I'm feeling empty,
Did you realise you actually wanted to build a business empire?
Honestly?
I mean, you weren't there yet,
Yeah.
you were just starting, but
Yeah.
could you feel that was where the fire was driving you?
1000%.
You knew?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So You decided that modelling wasn't fulfilling, but the beauty industry was calling.
Yeah.
So you thought, you know what, I want to be a makeup artist.
Yeah.
Now, when you were telling me your story, you kept using an abbreviation, MUA.
Yeah.
I don't know what MUA is.
Oh, sorry.
I had to Google it.
I'm so sorry.
And then I realised, oh yeah, okay, I get it. It's Instagram for makeup artist. But you decided to get involved in that industry, and you did it a little bit like the old-fashioned way, because you said, okay, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then you chose to work for free to learn.
100%.
So you were so dedicated to doing what you wanted to do. You thought, you know, I want to learn, someone's going to teach me, so I'm going to do it for free. So tell us about that, because you worked on your mum and your sister
Yes,
too, right?
all the time. Wasn't good, but I tried. I actually remember my mum was going to a Justin Timberlake concert, and I'm like, I need to do your makeup, please, please, please. And she used to have only 2 eyeshadow palettes, and like everything was like from Ronnie's or Kmart or something, but that was the makeup back then. So I was like, let me do your makeup.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, honestly, like it's fine. I still have makeup like that. It's fine. I just didn't know how to use it. And I wanted to do a black smoky eye on my mum, and she has small eyes. Oh, poor thing. She looked like a raccoon. It was so bad, and she actually still went out. Oh, I felt so bad for her. She's like, look at how I look. I saw my baby Justin and I look horrible. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So
You did such a bad job on your mother.
It was horrible.
And she went out like
She
that.
still went out like that.
That's love.
That is more than love. I wouldn't even do that. I was like, you're so cute. She's like, I look horrible. And I'm like, I'm sorry. But after that, that's when I'm like, okay, because in my head, I always have a vision of what I want to do. Like even before I started you, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. But I still go with the flow, because whatever you're feeling, I feel like you should allow that. But I knew I needed to perfect my craft, because I know I don't really like studying, I'm not gonna lie, but I do love studying things I love. So makeup, skincare, self-love, all that, I like studying that. So I'm like, I need to study everything I need to know about makeup, practice as much as I can. So then when I am confident enough to actually say I'm a makeup artist, I'm not just saying it because I've done 2 people. I've done it for a year. So my goal in my head was, let me do it for a year, learn everything I can, watch videos, read books, everything, utilize it on people, on myself, like test different products out. So that year was just, I'm gonna be honest, wasting a lot of money, but I had to, and like offering my services for free, because I needed to see different face shapes and different people and know skin texture and all that kind of stuff to be like, I'm ready to start. You know what I mean? Even though I wanted to start cheap, but I needed to feel ready, because I think that's a different, I'm a perfectionist.
So you were ready to move forward. You had studied, you had thought about it, you'd looked into everything, you'd done almost your apprenticeship because you were doing things for free. So then you felt ready to launch.
Yeah.
So as part of your campaign and your strategy to launch, you're obviously heavily invested in Instagram. That's your social platform. And you're reaching out to everybody. I'm here. Yeah. Where are you getting your clients from? How does that start?
Okay, so the good thing about me is I did start modeling, so I did have a bit more knowledge with photographers, models, and all that kind of stuff. So what I had done after that year was I started contacting some modeling friends, and I asked them if they wouldn't mind doing like a free collab, just so I could do their makeup and then get a photographer friend as well for free to take some photos so it looked more professional. And then I started that, and it was so random because a friend on Facebook was looking for a makeup artist for her horse riding company. And I just put my Instagram there. I'm like, I'm not going to get it, but whatever. And that was the first paid job I had. And I literally cried because I was like, oh my God, it was $60, but it was such a big thing.
Now, we're just going to be clear.
Yes.
It wasn't for the horses.
No. It was for, because you have to wear specific clothing when you're riding.
Correct.
So they wanted to advertise that, and they had 2 models. So I went to the city and I met with the lady, and the model was about 17. And I was so excited to do her. I don't think you even understand. I was like smiling ear to ear. I didn't take any photos because I was just so happy to be there. And me and her formed such a beautiful bond, and I work for her all the time now. So that's really good. But after I did that, I was like, you know what? If I can get 1 paid job, I can get more. So then I'm like, okay, I have to start advertising on Facebook. I put flyers out. I got business cards. I handed them out to everyone. I literally YouTube how to get clients, because I'm like, I don't know how you do it. So I was just always because all my family's overseas, so I don't really have much help here, I would say. So I was like, I need to do this on my own. I need to do this. So I was just contacting everyone and saying, tell people I'm a makeup artist, and I'll do it for, you know, like whatever price they want. I'll even do it for free. I really want to get my name out there. And I think people started seeing how dedicated I was. And the thing is with me, I won't give up. If I know something's in my destiny, I won't give up. So I just kept doing it. And then I think from word of mouth, that's how I started getting more clients. And
So why LinkedIn?
LinkedIn to me is one of the best platforms to grow your business organically, because I think about at the end of the day, Instagram might not be there forever. Facebook might not be forever. LinkedIn might not be there forever. But the clients I found on LinkedIn were business entrepreneurs. They were women. They were like bosses. And that's what I strive to be. So I'm like, what other platform can I actually find someone who isn't going to like lie or say there's something when they're not? Because I feel like LinkedIn is like professional, and I consider myself professional. So I'm like, I have to go on there to meet the people that I need in my life. Because
so here's my experience of you on LinkedIn. So you sent me a message and said you were doing a celebrity series and you wanted to collaborate.
Yeah.
So the language was right. But I found it hilarious when you said celebrity series, because I don't view myself as that.
Yeah.
And I said that back to you. I said, but you know, I don't think you know, I'm not an influencer in that world. In the business world, that's different. I accept that.
Yeah.
And you said, no, you're what I wanted.
Yeah.
Now I said yes, and we'd work it out.
Yeah.
But I tracked my messages last night because I went back to have a look, and you waited 5 days and then you reached out to me again.
Yeah.
Which is classic business.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, hi, I'm just, you know, we said blah, blah, blah. And I went, yes, you reminded me.
Yeah.
So from there, we've had constant communication. We've spoken together several times on the phone. For me, my trust was get you to come in, do my makeup before the session.
Yeah.
Now, we did no trial session. I didn't have time to say whether I liked it or not, because we had to get straight in the studio and film this piece. That's my trust in the new entrepreneur, because for me, you inspired me. I remembered what it was like when I first started before you were born, and the kind of drive that you have. And that's what I'm hoping young people see now, because you're what's coming next. You had a hunger.
Yeah.
You wanted to, so you just did.
Yeah.
There can't be a better reason to do anything. Now, we do have to wrap this up, but I asked you, what do you want for your future? And you didn't just give me one sentence, you gave me 20 different things about what she wants for her future. Share them. What would you ultimately like to see?
Well, for my future, God willing, I would ultimately love to see my business strive into becoming a worldwide known makeup artist that not only is just a makeup artist, but is true to herself and loves, because I love making people feel beautiful, obviously. And I would love that. I would love to have my own cosmetic line, because that is something I definitely dream of.
You have to say it and put it out there.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely that. Hopefully as well, when all that starts to happen, I can then eventually open up my own disability centre. Oh, that's a dream.
But that's because of the influence that you've had from a personal level.
Yeah.
Because you know what that's like for someone to struggle with a disability.
Of course. And I feel like it's very underrated. People don't realise that families struggle as well as, you know, I think it's
more than just one person.
Yeah.
And you said to me, why shouldn't they look and feel good too?
Yeah.
And that's what you wanted to do. You also said that you wanted to empower women.
100%.
And help people who feel discouraged.
Yeah.
So often we don't get business and social feelings colliding until someone is more established in their business, because they focus everything about themselves. When you start early on focusing on other people as well, that's such a big heart and a big spirit. Yeah. So from someone who didn't behave like that, and I wish I had when I was younger and your age, thank you. Thank you for coming in and looking after me, and Jessica is actually going to look after all our guests today as well. We appreciate that. But I hope you never lose your spirit and your glow, which makeup can't make. And we hope and wish nothing but great success and lots of love.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
To all our viewers in YouTube land, have you subscribed to SME TV? Well, if you haven't, now's your chance. A big shout out to Piedmont Studio for making us look and sound great, and to the SMEA Association, thank you so much for believing in SME TV. If you have any tips, tricks, comments or stories, email them straight to me, news@smea.org.au, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much, Jessica.
No, thank you.